how that eclipse, that the lack of radiation, this perfect cloud that the moon makes affects the Earth and its turbulence. I mean, I'm really going to see whether we're going to feel it up here.
Cool. All right, thanks, Thomas, and thanks for sharing everybody out there. I tell you, about 30 minutes away, we're going to measure as much as we can here, and I'm about to fight this man for a window seat. So when you get on an airplane and you look for a window seat, get your glasses on. We're going to look out here, and we're going to wrap up here from the G3 and send it back to Solar Eclipse Central. See you guys soon.
Wow.
And that was great.
Amazing, yeah.
Thank you to those of you on the G3 to fill us in on what you're going to be seeing from there. Here we are on the other side of the country, here at Charleston, South Carolina. I want to give a shout out to the college. The students here have been so incredibly great for us. And we are actually going to have a chance to go back to Salem, Oregon and find out a little bit more about what they are seeing there. They're talking about this moon picture right here.
Right, we've got a live picture right now from Salem, Oregon. We were showing you earlier in the broadcast. And as you can see, as we've been sort of describing it as the moon taking a bite out of the sun, it's continuing to happen. And what it looks like, Karen, is like it's almost like the sun. What we see is almost like a crescent moon, but it's not. It's the moon is actually the black portion in the upper right-hand portion of the sun that's being blocked out as we get closer and closer toward totality, which, as Robert and Thomas said from the G3 aircraft, is only about 30 minutes away for folks in Oregon.
And we will go right to Madras, which is right near Oregon. This is another view of the eclipse. One of the great things about this particular eclipse, Sean, right, is that the totality will be over land for so long. So we're about to start seeing it in Oregon, but normally, most times when you have an eclipse, a lot of it happens over the ocean, right? The ocean gets to see it.
Right. So for folks, especially here in the United States, this is the first time from coast to coast that we've seen a total solar eclipse since 1979. And so that's why for a lot of folks who are talking about this being a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Oregon, but normally, most times when you have an eclipse, a lot of it happens over the ocean, right? The ocean gets to see it.
Right. So for folks, especially here in the United States, this is the first time from coast to coast that we've seen a total solar eclipse since 1979. And so that's why for a lot of folks who are talking about this being a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And remember, it takes about 90 minutes for the totality portion of the eclipse to cross the United States, the continental United States. So as they mentioned earlier from the G3, about 30 minutes from now to totality there, about 90 minutes to get to where we are here in Charleston. So that means what? If I'm time's right, in about 2 hours, we'll be at totality here.
And we are now going to go to Salem, Oregon, where Jesse Carpenter will be talking to Nikki Weil, a solar scientist from NASA.
Welcome back to Salem, Oregon. It is clear, but yes, it is a little bit breezy
it's
here
windy,
today,
yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. I'm joined again with NASA solar physicist Nicolene Weil.
Hi.
Hey, so why don't we just take a look at what we've got going on here now that transit is deep underway?
Yeah, so the moon is crossing in front of the sun, and it's kind of looking like the moon is taking a bite out of the sun. And if you guys have any colanders with you, like a kitchen colander strainer, you can actually see if you let the sunlight come through that colander and look at the shadow on the ground below you, you'll actually be able to see the projected image of the moon taking a bite out of the sun down on the ground in front of you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you can just get something from the kitchen and share that with everyone who you're watching this with. That's great.
That's right. Now's the time to take out your pinhole cameras if you have those, or if you have those, the safety eclipse glasses. Now's the time to get these out and make sure to look at the sun with these on.
That's right. You want to be watching safely. And I know we've been talking about it, but we really can't stress it enough. It's very important to be wearing these glasses.
It's just so amazing, though, to see the moon crossing in front of the sun. I mean, you never get to see anything like this.
So, what are there some basics that you could share with us? I know we were trying to present some of that a little bit earlier in the show.
Yeah.
But are there some things that maybe you could talk a little bit about the layers of the sun?
Yeah. So there's sort of 3 outer layers of the sun. There's the photosphere, that's the part we're seeing now. There's the chromosphere and the corona above that. The chromosphere and the corona, that's the solar atmosphere. Now what's cool about today is that usually we get to see the photosphere, the visible surface of the sun. But today, during totality, we're going to get to see the atmosphere, the chromosphere and the corona of the sun. And we don't usually get to see those because they're so much less bright than the sun. It takes something special like today's total solar eclipse to be able to see them. So that's really amazing. We're going to get to see that.
It is so cool. So I think what we're going to be doing now is sending it back to NASA's Eclipse Central in Charleston. Take it away, guys.
Thanks.
And welcome back to Charleston. You can hear these students are really excited for us. And I gotta tell you, I had the chance to interview some of them just a few days ago. The College of Charleston students are excited, and I wanted to find out what they knew about the eclipse. Let's
take a
watch the
listen.
video.
All right. So right now what we're looking at on your screen is
Hello, I am Karen Fox with NASA TV. I'm here at the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina, and we are going to spend some time interviewing students to find out what they know about the total eclipse of 2017. What's happening on Monday?
The solar eclipse is happening. Monday, the eclipse.
That's the right answer, the eclipse. Are you ready for the eclipse?
Oh, I'm pumped. I've been talking about it all summer.
What is an eclipse?
When the moon moves in front of the sun. It's when the moon passes in front of the sun and creates a shadow on Earth.
What is the closest star to Earth?
The sun? The sun?
The sun.
The sun? Yes, the sun! Very nice. Will you demonstrate for me putting these on?
We're gonna put them over the glasses.
The music you associate with the eclipse. What have you been listening to? What are you going to listen to?
Here comes the sun. Total eclipse in my heart. Do 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 do.
Da-na-na, like,
I saved every letter you wrote me.
so I was really impressed with how much these students knew. We had a great time here. And now you can once again see the imagery we are pulling in of a white light telescope of 2 eclipses happening as we speak. These are again the partial eclipses, Salem, Oregon, and Madras, Oregon.
right. As you can see, it's quite an image as that moon continues to progress. Transit is the term over the surface of the sun, getting closer and closer toward totality. And again, this is an opportunity for us to remind folks, regardless of whether you're watching this right now in Oregon or if you're anticipating the beginning of the eclipse from another location in the U.S. or really across North America, wherever you're able to view us from, that it's important that you have to have those safety glasses. We cannot stress that enough. We've been getting a lot of questions on social media, people just emailing us, asking about that. You must have the glasses unless you are in the path of totality and during those brief moments of totality.
Right, and Sean is stressing the glasses, but of course, you can also watch the sun indirectly. There are a lot of ways. Nikki Weil, a solar scientist, just told us that you could even pull out a colander because it's got little pinholes in it. You can use a Ritz cracker that has a hole in it. The other thing is you might even see the eclipse image filtering through the
leaves.
space between leaves on a tree. There's some really wonderful ways of catching imagery of it. So, be safe, but don't think you absolutely have to have the glasses. That is not your only option. Should we talk a little bit about the science that NASA's
We should,
doing
but
today, too?
before that, I just want to give a shout out too to our website, because you're talking about all these great ways to indirectly view it. And again, just a plug for the eclipse2017.nasa.gov site, where you can find all kinds of information, but especially some do-it-yourself instructions on how to create some of those indirect viewing methods.
Great, we've talked a lot here about the partial eclipse. Nikki Vile, who you just heard talking, she studies the corona, that is the atmosphere around the sun. And she was telling me just the other day how excited she is that she is going to be able to see that with her naked eye during the actual total solar eclipse. So that's what's interesting. We can only see that normally from space with our space telescopes.
Right, and even with that, I was talking to one of the heliophysicists back at NASA headquarters in Washington, D.C. Recently about this, that even with those artificial eclipses that they create from the coronagraphs, they're called, in space, it doesn't give you the same viewing opportunities that we have with a natural eclipse like we're seeing now. That there's actually a couple of different layers of the sun's corona. We have the outer corona and the inner corona, and because of the way those coronagraphs work, they do not allow a good image of the inner corona, the part that's really close to the sun's surface. Only the outer corona. It's only during an actual natural total solar eclipse like we're viewing today across the country that scientists, heliophysicists, and others, and just the general public are able to see the entire corona, and that really gives them a lot more information. And remember, for these scientists, no matter where they are, they only have that brief, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 if you're really lucky, right in the center line of totality, to see the entire corona and get those measurements.
Yeah.
So again, Karen, as folks are looking at their screen right now, you see that double image, Salem, Oregon there on the left, and nearby Madras on the right. 2 different images with 2 different telescope using to view this eclipse. It's still in the partial stages, starting to get closer and closer toward totality in just a few minutes.
And stick with us, because we are going to be tracing this eclipse all the way across the country. Not only does everybody in the country have a great view, but we have some
Oh, okay. I'm going to turn my back to the camera. Oh my gosh! There is a small bite starting in the sun. What are your comments?
I said that is gorgeous, isn't it?
That is fantastic. The total solar eclipse in Carbondale, Illinois has begun. A small bite is being taken out of the sun by our satellite called the moon. This is incredible. Earlier they were telling people to talk about in one word to describe the eclipse. The word for me is majestic. A lot of times, I don't know about you, sometimes if I want to, take a break on my computer,
Hola, cariño hermoso. ¿Qué de mi celular la princesa? ¿Qué quiere la princesita? ¿A dónde fuiste? ¿No me vas a contar a dónde fuiste? ¿Eh?
Looking out toward the horizon, we await the first glimpse of a total solar eclipse when the movement of our moon completely blocks our view of the sun. Starting in the air from NASA's Gulfstream 3 aircraft off the coast of Oregon, we anticipate this awe-inspiring celestial event. Over the next 3 hours, we will track the solar eclipse as it moves across the entire United States from coast to coast, observing this incredible event through the eyes of NASA. media specialist and meteorologist, very important man today, I must say, tracking the weather conditions across the path of totality, Sean Potter. Today, we're coming to you from NASA Eclipse Central here at the College of Charleston. Now, Charleston is the last stop of the total solar eclipse on U.S. soil. So we will track this eclipse as it moves east and heads this way. We're tracking the eclipse across the entire country to bring you the best images with the most compelling stories, along with science experts. Here from NASA Eclipse Central, we have views from ground telescopes, high-altitude balloons, airplanes, and from several NASA spacecraft. And yes, and I want you to remember this, audience out there. We even have live, no one else, only here at NASA, the International Space Station. If you want to see the eclipse as never before, stay with us through the eyes of NASA on NASA television. This is the place to be. Yadi, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y usted?
Okay, this is a win-win situation for America. We have a partial eclipse and a total eclipse. Explain the difference.
So today, pretty much the moon is going to come across the Earth and the sun. So North America, Central America, and parts of South America are going to see a partial solar eclipse, which means that the moon is going to partially block the sun. It's going to look like the moon took a bite of the sun, like you have seen on the previous images. A total solar eclipse is going to happen in a very narrow path, 70 miles wide, that comes all the way from Oregon, crossing the whole continent of the United States, and getting out here in South Carolina. You're going to see a total solar eclipse, which means that the moon is going to completely block the surface of the sun, and you're going to be able to see the solar atmosphere, the solar corona, with your own eyes. They will turn into night, which means the stars and the brightest planets are going to come out.
Jody, Alex, you guys have been waiting for this for a long time, as all these other scientists around the nation. This is the day we've been waiting for, and we're here, Eclipse Central. You guys, if you're here, this is the place to be. We have remote NASA TV broadcast sites along the path of totality so that anyone watching along with us can also experience the total solar eclipse. We'll also share information about how to experience the eclipse safely wherever you are and give you a peek at all the exciting plans NASA experts have today. Alex, okay, so Mr. Solar Man, what is so unique about the solar eclipse?
Well, this is an amazing opportunity. The last time we had a total solar eclipse in the continental U.S. was '79, but the last time we had one that went from coast to coast was 1918, 99 years ago. So we are having a total solar eclipse that's covering a huge portion of populated, accessible land. This is giving us an unprecedented opportunity to study, to look at the impacts on the Earth. To see the corona and give us science like we've never had before. I mean, the last time we had this kind of connection to where we are and who we are was actually really the Apollo 8 Earthrise. And that gave us a perspective outside of just the Earth. It showed us that we were part of something bigger. And that's what this total solar eclipse brings.
Here for today is the weather. So Sean, you know, I'm looking at Charleston skies. We got clouds. I hope that's going to get better, but what's going on around the nation? Over to you.
That's right, Dwayne. Yes, the weather is the key factor for viewing today's total solar eclipse. Right here in Charleston, it's about 86 degrees, but with the humidity, it feels more like 99 right now. But what we want to do right now is show you a satellite image from our friends at NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This is from the GO-16 satellite. It's a brand new weather satellite that NASA built for NOAA and was launched last year. That
As the moon is now moved, the sun is appearing again, and we can see the diamond ring. It's amazing. It's fantastic. You see the outer edge. I see prominences, little red pieces of chromosphere from the lower atmosphere. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
Jody, what we got? That looks pretty cool.
I mean, it's breathtaking. I just even seeing it right now through the TV, it's just an amazing thing to see. I cannot imagine what we're going to feel here in South Carolina when we have our chance.
Well, you know, Sean, and you know, get that weather up here looking good here in Charleston. Now, what
so Alex,
what are we seeing here?
Is that from the G3? That looks like from the G3 because I see spectra there.
No, it's still from Salem.
That's still from Salem. Okay, so you're seeing the bright, actually the camera is causing a little prism effect there, and you're seeing the bright light from the edge of the sun. So that is really beautiful. That's sort of the edge of the diamond ring effect.
Yeah.
So Alex, a reminder, Alex, so that diamond ring pops up, that's what people should put the...
That's when people should put your glasses back on. So when you see that diamond ring after totality, that's the signal to you that it's time to put it back on. So look now, we see the corona in Madras. That's gorgeous.
Solar system ambassadors. They are all along the path of totality, and they're volunteers. These are people just telling people what they're seeing and helping them understand. We have one here, right here. His name is Richard Steber. Hey, Richard. He has been manning in this mobile observatory, and that is what is providing our solar telescope shot right now. Now, we asked him, what's it like being a solar system ambassador? And he said, follow along. We did, and we went with him to a school in Southern California. Take a look.
On 30 balloons, 2 coupons where the bacteria will be sprayed. One will stay on the ground, one will be affixed to the balloon. It then will go up to 100,000 feet above the ozone. So the ultraviolet light, also blocked a little bit by the moon, is just like Mars. In addition to that, the temperature and pressure will be just like Mars. So when the balloon goes up higher and bursts, comes down, we'll retrieve that coupon off the balloon, match it with the one on the ground, and then we'll see how many...
Shiny sliver right now.
Look at the ray structure. You can't get that on film. There's Venus.
Oh, wow.
There's Venus. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, look at that ray structure.
You were saying this is the only way you can see the atmosphere.
Yeah, that lower part of the corona is really even hard from space to see. Wow. Wow. I get to spend a second looking around at the crowd. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow.
You should turn off the lights.
Go where? Look.
All right. You get ready to put it back on yourself. Very quick.
Have you noticed, Jim? The street lights are all on
The
around
street
us.
lights turned on,
We
of
confuse
course.
the street lights.
Of course. And we didn't plan that one.
All right, we should get ready for our glasses again. Get ready with your glasses.
Okay. Here it goes.
That's the moon. Oh, look.
There's the diamond ring.
Diamond's the diamond.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well,